before coming to the United World College of the Adriatic, an international school attended by around 200 students coming from different countries, I didn't know I was white. I mean, of course, I knew that I was white and that I am white, but I didn't really know what being white implies. It implies that at least in this country, in Italy, I'm not part of a minority, and I don't have to fight for my rights every day. I can simply live my life without even thinking of my skin color. But unfortunately, this is not true for everybody everywhere. In Latin America, for example, people with fair hair and skin are looked down on, as they seem too European. This actually flips the concept of racism that is usually seen as white people attacking black people. And it shows us that in a different part of the world, with a different composition of the population, the dynamics of discrimination can change. Still, in any case, racism is based on the belief that a specific race with precise phenotypic traits that are eye color or hair color or a precise skin color is better than another. And then what follows is the discrimination and in some cases the persecution of the people who belong to the wrong race. But a rather different perspective, which is hardly ever considered, is the will of some people to change their skin color, to actually have a lighter skin. The issue has been brought to the public opinion when recently a cosmetic company, Seoul Secrets, launched a new product, Snows, which is a pill that, as the advertising says, makes your skin white forever. The promoter of this product, a Thai actress, in the advertisement says, "In my world, the competition is very high. If I were white, I would win." This phenomenon is spreading all over the world, especially in Africa and in Asia. In South Africa, 1/3 of the female population lighten their skin. In Senegal, the 27%. In Togo, the 59%. In Nigeria, the 75%. The data for Asia are not better. It has been calculated that more than $13 billion have been spent in 1 year only for skin lightening products. So actually, these products, as you can imagine, are very expensive and people start buying them illegally. But the illegal ones don't have a very good quality. They contain chemicals, for example, mercury. Mercury can lead not only to skin problems, but also to kidney disease. Some others contain a particularly dangerous chemical called hydroquinone that can lead to skin cancer. Quoting an article from The Guardian, anybody caught selling a product containing hydroquinone in England can be fined up to £5,000 or jailed for 6 months. So actually, what is the reason why people start these decade-long treatments and potentially dangerous treatments to lighten their skin, to have their skin white? Of course, there is nothing special in the color itself, in the white. What matters are the associations that people make between this color and some particular socio-economic characteristics. The first reason, of course, because white is associated to power, the first reason is historical. Europeans came from more technologically advanced countries, so they had, in this way, the power and the ability to dominate other populations. In the 15th and 16th century, they colonized the Americas, and then they colonized Africa. They became the symbol of power, of domination. They were white. But actually, they could have been black. In a parallel universe, in the history of another mankind, colonizers could have been black, and the phenomenon would have been exactly the same. As I said, there is nothing special in the color itself. Moreover, if we want to speak the truth, we must admit that the opinions of the global society relies very much on the behavior of the population that belongs to the country that in that moment has the economic power. Historically, the economic power has been held by countries with fair-skinned people. Just think about it. Spain, Great Britain, United States, China. And now that the axis of the economic power is moving toward India, it seems that there is no space for dark skin. In India, the situation is particularly dramatic. It has been calculated in another article by The Guardian that in a year, in 2012, 233 tons of skin whitening creams have been used. And Indians spend more money on those than on Coca-Cola. That actually is a big number. In India, a big role is played by the Bollywood system, as we will see. It applies for the Hollywood system as well. The Indian actress Nadita Das, which is particularly committed in the Dark is Beautiful campaign, affirms that in India, if you have a dusky skin, you are doomed to part as a peasant or a slum dweller. Moreover, in India, there is the concept that fair skin is associated to higher castes. So, girls with a fair skin or a lighter skin than the others have more possibilities to get married. This actually brings in another perspective that associates the white color to some kind of nobility. It was like when in the 17th or 18th century, aristocratic European women went around with an umbrella to avoid tanning. It's pretty much the same. Moreover, we must consider that nowadays we are particularly influenced by the media, by what we see around us. Famous is a speech given by the Kenyan Oscar-winning actress, Lupita Nyong'o. She says that there was a time in her life when she felt unbeautiful because all she could see turning on the TV was white skin. It's almost impossible to believe that such an amazing woman could have doubt of her beauty even just for a moment. And what is worse is that the reason was her skin color. This shows us that we are still depending on the external society. We still allow the external world to influence our life, our opinions, and our self-confidence. In the particular case of the skin bleaching, of course, the roots of this phenomenon have to be found in history, in the way black people have been treated. So in this way, white people have a high responsibility. But there is also another perspective to explore. It's almost like black people are willing to belong to the winning part of the society. It's almost an act of self-discrimination, almost like they are surrendering to this crazy idea that white is the right color. We are so into this mood, so into this dynamic, this way of thinking, that we try to reach such a high standard that only seem real, but that actually are not real, to allow the others to put us in a precise category, in the right category, in the winning category of the society. Every day, each of us, looking into the mirror, should choose to accept who we are and to simply feel comfortable in our own skin. Our skin is something so deep, so rooted into us, even if it's such an external and visible feature. It's the characteristics that shows us that we are human. As I said in the beginning, before coming to the college, I didn't know I was white. Now that I know, my life has not changed much. Nobody chooses where to be born. Nobody chooses their skin color. But we can choose to accept ourselves. And this is the most important choice. Thank you.